Hi everyone, Tyler Manion here, NPC and IFBB Pro League Vice President. Today I'm doing a recap video for the 3 pro divisions from the Republic of Texas this past weekend. Now I wanted to do this video to give you guys more of an insight into what we're seeing at the judges table at the show. So there's a couple of different reasons I want to do this, but first I want to address a common theme or misconception that I see nowadays, which is people judging shows off pictures off social media. Pictures don't give you the full idea of what we're actually seeing when you're at the show, let alone at the judges table at a show, where we can see every fiber of every muscle when the competitors are moving, okay? So first, I know we post iPhone pictures on NPC News Online a lot of times to show you the call-outs of the shows. Now, you guys need to keep in mind, iPhone pictures with the stage lighting coming at the phone can make competitors that are extremely soft and out of shape look like they're in shape, okay? So these iPhone pictures are just to give publicity to the show and let people know what's going on. They aren't even close to giving you an idea of what competitors actually are looking like on the stage most of the time. And now, even with professional photos, the photos that the photographers take and post on NPC News Online, these are just a snapshot in time, okay? They're a snapshot of 1 second of a competitor at a show. They really aren't showing you the lines of the competitor, what's happening to the competitor's body when they're moving, what happens when they're posing, everything like this. None of this is represented in photos. And as a competitor, I know people know this. As a coach, I know people know this. Even as fans, when fans actually attend a show, they realize how different it is than watching a show through pictures on Instagram or even through live stream, because you're not getting the insane detail and the details aren't showing through any of these mediums with how they are at a show. So I know a lot of pages and people love to cover bodybuilding and the NPC and IFBB Pro League, which I love because it is great overall for the athletes and the organizations. But I just wish that people would put that out there, especially experienced people that know there is a huge difference from being at a show and not being at a show. So just wanted to get that point out there because I think it's very important, especially for fans of the sport, to realize that you can't start forming and basing strong opinions based just off pictures or these videos. Pictures are a tool that we use to help people see what the competitors look like, but it doesn't give you the 100% full picture. Now, moving on, we're going to go into the recap for the 3 divisions for the show this last weekend. All these athletes are incredible athletes. They're pro athletes doing their best on the stage. So these critiques are meant to be positive and show you what we're seeing and looking for at the judges table. I hope people don't use this video to try to tear down competitors or be negative towards them. I think that happens far too often with how hard these competitors work and, you know, the time they put in and the effort and what they do on stage, because they all look amazing. So I want to get into our first class, which is wellness. And the wellness show here was a very, very interesting show. I think a lot of competitors did not show up 100% on. You know, each one had certain issues that they were dealing with. I'm going to go in first to our winner, which was Frida. Frida was the only competitor that was 100% on point this day. If you were at the show, there was absolutely no doubt that she was the clear winner. Her conditioning was perfect. Her presentation on stage was perfect. She has amazing glutes. Walking to the back, glutes looked awesome, but her legs still need to come up in size, and she knows this. That's the main thing with right now with her physique going into the Olympia, what she has to work on. She has to bring her legs up still. Now, even though her legs were a little bit small, it didn't matter on this day because it was clear she was in first place. Who's in second, which was Renee Jewett. Now, Renee's body was great. Her legs were the right size for wellness. Shape and the glute size were the right shape for wellness. However, Renee still had a graininess and hardness to her look. She has veins all up through her stomach, just a general hardness that you could see in person with her physique. We don't want to see graininess and hardness in wellness. So that's something that held her back from the top spot. She also had a little bit of loose skin in her glutes whenever she was walking, which is something we take into account as well. That's why we walk the competitors to the front and to the back to see how their bodies are moving on stage. When we say her glutes could be fuller, meaning she needs to have more fullness where her muscle is pressing against her skin, so that does not happen in the future. Renee has a great physique. I think with a couple of tweaks, fixing these problems, she can do great this year and probably try and secure an Olympia qualification. Our third place competitor was Tracy Williams. Her physique was awesome. She just needs to come in a good bit more conditioned in the lower body. Conditioning in the lower body is what held her back. It's what knocked her down a couple spots. Her physique, though, was arguably the best on stage. And this brings me to a point that is another common misconception, and I'll go over this again later. People need to understand that the best physiques do not always win a show. One reason is you could have the best physique on stage, but you might not fit the criteria. And the second reason is the best physique might have issues that day. Okay, if we just let whoever had the best physique win the show and we didn't care about their conditioning, their presentation, or anything else or any flaws that were happening when they're on stage, then there would be no reason for a lot of people to compete. Okay, you can win with a worse structure. You can win with not having the best physique overall because of other factors that you're bringing in that day and other people being off. Now going on to fourth place, which was Carrie Goforth. She just needs a little bit more size in her legs as well. Her glutes look great. She kind of flexed them a little bit, which caused them to show a little bit of striation in the back pose. We don't want to see striations in the glutes in wellness. And she tended to breathe through her stomach on stage and didn't have enough waist control on stage, or something she needs to work on. Some little things there. The main thing for her is leg size, but she was probably the second most on point conditioning and overall presentation wise with the show. It's just her physique needs to improve to jump up over some better physiques, like I just explained. There's also one competitor I want to talk about too, which is Michelle Abada from Brazil. Now, if I'm going to continue to do these videos, sometimes there's stuff that we see at the judges table and that we notice that we will address with that athlete and their coach only. So there was something that we saw with Michelle that we addressed with her and her coach. I'm not going to talk about it here. They know what they need to correct. And when this is corrected, her placing will reflect that. And I'm sure she will do much, much better at the show because physique wise, she was very, very good. Her glutes are a little square. She needs to round them out a little bit more, and her quads are right at that point of density where it's almost too much. So she needs to be careful with that. But her physique overall looked great this day. There was just something we noticed that we marked her down for, and that her and her coach know that they need to correct going forward.